Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. This is a really special video, and what I mean special is, it took me years to make, and I'll explain all that throughout the video. Also, many of you say, I'm sick and tired of hearing you talking through your videos, just shut up, and then my response always is, well, there is a mute button, you know. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'll do some narration, and then it will be some of what you will hear if you were actually on this sub tour. So you'll have to put up with me yapping and yammering on for a little bit, and then you will have the peace of the silence of not hearing my voice, and then out of nowhere you'll have to listen to me again. Pretty cool, right? When it's time for your submarine tour, you got to be there 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever it is, prior to your tour leaving. You'll walk out there to the dock at Port Hilton. That gate is normally locked when they're not operating, so you can't go out there, you're not supposed to. And then you go up to the counter and then you check in. And then you get in another line and you have to do that photographer thing where there's that person who takes your picture, you know, aloha, you know, shaka bra, you know, you do the whole thing and they take your picture, and then sometime when you're on the boat, they track you down and see if you want to purchase this thing. I don't know if they give you the one for free or they get you to purchase this package or countered, however it works, because the whole time we were on the boat on the way out there, as well as on the way back, every time we saw that camera person with his folder full of people's pictures and stuff, we headed the other way. So we ran the entire time. It was great. If I wanted a picture of us, I took one. You know, that's what I do. I take photos and videos. That's what I do. But it is kind of neat if you want that keepsake. As we were waiting to get onto the boat to go out to the submarine, we're all sitting on the dock. There's these chairs and you're in the shade, but it is hot. There is no wind. Oh, everybody was hot. Oh, it was only 78 degrees outside, but with no breeze there because the boat is right there blocking the breeze. Oh, it was hot. And then we boarded the boat and it was air conditioned. So the inside of the boat's air conditioned. They give you the safety lecture. They tell you what you need to know about being on the boat and being on the submarine. There's, legals, kind of like when you're on that airplane. This is how you buckle a seatbelt. You don't know how to buckle a seatbelt by now. Then maybe you deserve to fall out of the airplane. Yeah, it's the equivalent of that, but for a boat. And every boat tour I've ever been on, legally, Coast Guard regulations, they have to give you a safety tour. Here's your life jacket. Here's where spare life jackets are. This is what you do if they sink. Hold your breath. Try to swim. And then the boat pulls out of the dock, it turns around and heads out in the channel there, past the waves where people surf, and you get an amazing view of Waikiki. You can stay down in the inside, nice, luxuriously air-conditioned boat, or you can go to the upper observation deck. There's also seats, you can lean on the handrail, but it's not air-conditioned. But it does give you an amazing view of Waikiki from the ocean, and that in itself is worth the price of this submarine ride. Yes, the submarine ride is cool, but that boat ride out to the submarine and the boat ride back is also very cool. There is one thing I was looking forward to that I didn't get to do, or that we didn't get to do. And that is, if you go to YouTube and you search Atlantis Submarines, you'll see some really cool videos of the submarine coming out of the water. The boat goes to where the submarine's going to come up. The submarine could come up at several different places, depending on surface traffic or where people are. The submarine comes up, the boat meets it there. Well, by the time we got out there, the submarine had already come up. bummer, because I was really looking forward to getting some cool video of the submarine surfacing. Oh well. One way or another, the boat meets up with the submarine. Either it's already surfaced or it surfaces and they meet it. They tie off to each other. Everybody on the sub gets off, gets on the boat. Everybody on the boat gets onto the sub. As you go down the gangway of the boat, you can either go to your right and you can enter in at the bow of the sub, or you can turn to the left and go in towards the stern. We opted to go in towards the stern. And that was really because less people were going that way, is why I thought it'd be a good idea to do. And it was really cool, and I'm glad we did. I think next time I'll try to plan it so I can be up towards the bow, so I can maybe get a view or a shot of the cockpit there, and that would be pretty neat too. The one thing about being aft opposed to being forward is that when the sub comes up on a underwater sea creature, if it's one that will be scared and swim away, only the people in the front of the sub will see it, because it will be swimming away, and you won't get that really cool view or shot or picture.
Listening to Captain Eric talking with the tugboat captains as we get ready to make our descent.
It's right above me.
First on ballast set, Quest mission time.
Clear man, clear dive, 27 after.
27 minute, take 7 now.
All right, everybody, here we go. We're starting our descent. A couple little things. First of all, why don't we quick take care of our seatbelts? I love doing that. I love doing that. I just like to see who's listening to me. You should see the 9 o'clock show. Everybody's going on. All right, no more bad jokes. These really nice blue logs, guys, take these out for me. Open them up to pages 5 and 6. Lots of nice drawings of fish. Okay, sir. We are going to see the majority of those. For example, on page 6, you have the humpback whale. Anybody want to see one of those? Yeah. I've never seen one yet. I would love to see one. Very rare. I'm going to talk about why in a little bit. But a neat fish I always like to point out. At the top of the right top corner, they have the amberjack and the bluefin trevally. Guys, those are the most aggressive fish we have here. They will bite sharks to get the sharks to leave. The ones I'm going to show you today will be close to 100 pounds. The record for that is 200 pounds. So we're going to see a lot of those today. Now, both sides, take a look outside of your windows right. What we're going to be doing is going to 5 different artificial reefs. Now, sometimes when we get up to the reef, maybe at first only the right side can see it. When that happens, you guys on the left, don't give me the dirty looks or anything like that. We always do a big U-turn. So everybody can see everything, okay? So on that note, both sides, take a look outside of our windows. You guys on the right side, looks like a ladder down there, doesn't it? That's from a shipwreck. Guys, in this area, we sunk 2 airplanes. Left side, you're seeing some kind of, almost looks like junk down there. This is from where those airplanes were. We're going to go to those planes in a little bit, but I want you to remember this spot. We are in here about 40, 50 feet of water. Behind me, we have a depth gauge. In the back by our co-pilot, Jeremy, we got another one. So in this area, we at the bottom now, there's very, very little coral and very little fish. The fish, in fact, that you see are following us. They feel the vibration of this sub, and that's the dinner bell for them. See, because they feed the fish here on the snorkel and the dive tours every day, many, many times a day. So as soon as they feel that engine, oh, it's cookies and bread and crackers, that kind of stuff. I always like to throw this in. Where we go today, it's where I take my customers scuba diving. I'm a scuba diving instructor here. So you are my prospective divers, but you're not going to get wet. If you get wet, that's a really big problem, one I hope I never ever have. Now, on the right side, you look at the bottom. You guys at the front with me, you notice it goes to sand. That's 100 feet. Where we are, which is the southern end of the Oahu, after 100 feet, there's absolutely nothing, just sandy ground. That's why we sunk everything here and not in front of Panama Bay, not over on the west side. See, if we would have sunk anything there, we would have actually killed the coral. But here, it's like literally the surface of the moon. Okay, so we didn't have to do any kind of like environmental assessment or anything, because nothing was there. Now the left side and the front, you can kind of see, you look straight out ahead, it's going to go to sand too. So that's 100 feet right out there. Okay, now the right side, we're still a ways away. We're coming up to our first structures.
We'll see if we get
These
them.
are called the pyramids. They kind of look kind of the shape of a pyramid. We sunk these way back in 1989 with the University of Hawaii. So those things out there are basically fish houses. In about 200 years, this will be a coral reef. As coral dies, new coral grows on the dead coral. And so it doesn't matter that they're all beat up or falling apart, because someday this will be a coral reef. Left side, there we go. See them at the bottom there? Everybody, when we sunk these, the fish life went up 3,000%. Oh, look at that guy coming at us. You guys in the front with me? That fish is a trevally. It is now going to start ramming the bottom of the sub because we're in the way. When I've gone diving here, I've had close to 100-pound fish come up. I'll be swimming along with my customers, all of a sudden, big thing hits me, and I turn around, and there's this big amberjack swimming right along next to me with a kind of get out of here, look at its face, because we're in the way. So if you can see the bottom of this sub right now, there's a lot of fish going like that, because and every hour we leave, so it works. Right side, the dark fish are what we call sleek unicorn fish, or damselfish. Now, also fish in bluefin trevally. The whiter fish is the goldfish. Yeah, there is, okay. That's actually a type of a surgeon fish. Now, both sides, especially the front here, you look at the bottom here, sand and gravel. Guys, you should see this place at night. Octopus everywhere. And you gotta leave them alone, because even though they look real cute, they will bite through a finger like that. They have a beak inside of them that crushes them. Thinking about this big, our octopus in Hawaii only live about a year. We're on the let's say the west coast of Washington area, they live longer, so they get a lot bigger. Beginning of our largest reef in Oahu. But I want to talk about the left side. These structures that are 91, all of those fish up there are the amberjack, that silverfish, and they're minnows. They're probably 20, 30 pounds at most. Okay? And you might notice some of them are black and some of them are silver. Like this guy at the front here with, on the left side. The reason why, what they do when they go to feed, they move the scales on their body, it deflects the light, and they turn black, and then they hide. And it works really, really well. They can really blend in. Everything else out there is eating plankton. We got these from the Asahi Chemical Corporation in Osaka, Japan. Guys have been down here for diving instructor in Japan for quite a few years, and it's amazing. They're like giant mounds. And so at night, they're out hunting the octopus. This place at night is completely different. A lot of the fish that you saw are not out. You got crabs, lobsters, eels, and octopus. I like to joke, it's like 10 in the morning at Waikiki Beach and 10 at night at Waikiki Beach. Big difference. If you don't believe me, go outside tonight at about 10 o'clock and you're very different. But when I bring my customers diving, actually anywhere in Oahu, I have to warn them to not put their hands in a hole. Because if they do, chances are real good an eel is waiting for them. And when an eel sees this coming in, it looks like an octopus and they'll bite you. I have a really good friend of mine who almost lost his thumb about 4 months ago because he saw a shell. He's an instructor, you think he would know better. And he goes in like that, and he pulled it out and he had a big eel on his whole head. And an eel's teeth are shaped inward. These are crackers, if you eat one. Right side, we're almost on those structures. So you guys right now on the right side, look, there's nothing out there. And once we get to these structures, right now, a lot of fish. So the left side, you can kind of see some of those crevices and holes and stuff. I've caught them, filleted them. It's like lice. I mean, oh, you guys at the front here on the right side, look at all the trevally. And now look at that rope. See that rope? Yep. So let's say you're diving, you got 110 feet above you, and one of those guys comes along and starts bumping you. Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good sign. They put up a real good fight. Oh, yeah, we just toss them back. That's another reason why I think there's so many of them, because they don't. When they're real little, you see. When they're real small. That fish you see there, the real pretty fish, that is the male parrotfish. The female has a different color. She has like a red head. Goatfish there. So how come it's just the wings? Guys, when we sunk these planes, we sunk them where we made our descent. We sunk into like 40 feet of water. And, oh, look at the size of that guy. It's pretty big. About, I'd say 60, 70 pounds. When we sunk these planes originally, they went down a perfect 100%. We had them on top of a poles. It looked like this. It looked like a model airplane. I used to do a diving tour in the plane. I would take at most 4. Okay guys, left side, this is an old Navy yard oiler. This is my favorite dive spot here. You guys on the right side, turn around. All you got out there is sand right now. All the holes that you see here are for divers. Everybody, you can go in there anywhere, you can get out of there anywhere. The only way you get lost in there is if you close your eyes. And look at the beautiful fish, the white fish with the yellow top. Those are pyramid butterfly fish. If you've ever had an aquarium, a home aquarium, that's a popular fish. Oh yeah, look at the jet black amberjack there. See how it turned black? Whoa. Let's see, he's going after something. Before sunset, there will be like 10 times more. And they hide under the catwalk. The real pretty black and white fish are pennant fish. Lots of beautiful butterfly fish. This is like the all-you-can-eat salad bar for those fish. That rope that you see there, both on the front and the back, that's what the captains look at before they decide which side to go on. See, right now the current is pushing us away from that ship, so we can't hit it. Right? And keep your eyes out for turtles, guys. I'd love to show you turtle day. What they do is they will go up to the surface, they take a breath of air. When they come back down to the bottom, their heartbeat slows down to about a beat to 2 beats per minute. So the turtles, if they don't move around a lot, they'll sleep underwater for about 4 or 5 hours on one breath of air. The white white and yellow striped fish. Oh, look, all those are all blue fin to the belly. Beautiful white and yellow fish, pyramid butterfly fish. All those pipes there, that's where the fuel in the oil was pumped out. This is like a floating gas station. Then there's that big jet black trevally again. Big puffer fish. Now those pipes here, the biggest moray eels I've ever seen in my life are on this ship. I've seen eels here as long as my leg. And look inside of the wheelhouse, lots of fish in here. And the fun would be that white rope there. That's where we hold on when we descend in ascent, when we go diving out. Beautiful Moorish idols, guys, that white, that yellow and black striped fish. And again, there's now that rope is almost standing up straight. So right now is not a real strong current. So this would be a good time to go scuba diving. Now we bought that ship from the Navy for $30,000. You can buy a new car for more than that. Okay, 30 grand, but we bought it to sink it, which sounds kind of silly. $30,000 just to sink something. In Hawaii, as in most places, when you sink something, you have to clean it. You got to get rid of all the fuel, all the oil. You have to make sure that it's safe for diving. So it's like literally full of holes. All the doors are off, so it's impossible to get caught. So we bought it for $30,000, but to sink it cost us another $300,000. This is actually our newest wreck. We sunk this in 1996. Oh, we have a turtle here. Oh, look at, now that is a young girl, little teeny tail. I'd say maybe 20 years old. And look at how the fish are cleaning the shell. Look at the big trevally that just came out of the deck. Now this one, you notice there's a lot of gravel on the bottom or on the deck. We filled this full of gravel so it wouldn't sail away. We learned our lessons with the airplane. So there's the wheelhouse, you guys in the front of the thing. And inside of that, see, a year ago you couldn't look inside of it. So guys, this is rusting away. I give this ship 10 more years, and it will probably collapse in on itself. Be one big flat piece of steel. If you've seen pictures of the Titanic, when they found it to what it looks like now, they've lost a lot of the ship. Okay. Again, so Captain Eric's using all that stuff on the bottom to let him know where it probably takes about 3 weeks to make, and that's probably about 7 times more expensive. That window is probably the most expensive part of the submarine. Okay? Compressed acrylic. Every 3 years, we put this submarine in what they call dry dock. They completely strip it. They take the oldest window and test it. And if it passes, we can use them all for 10 more years. But we check them every 3 years. Okay? And if it doesn't pass, they are absolutely worthless. My supervisor has an old one. He made a coffee table out of it. That's all they're good for. That's a good idea. You can't melt them down and start over again. Okay, so we're just about ready now. On our right side, we're going to see San Pedro. This ship is about 100 feet long. So you guys on the left side will get to see the wild...
As I mentioned in a lot of other videos, for years I have been going to Hilton Hawaiian Village, and even longer I've been going to Waikiki, Honolulu, Oahu. I'd heard about the Atlantis Submarine ride, so I thought that'd be cool, because, you know, I did all the things on top of the water. I've been on boats, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Airplanes, helicopters. Oh, I hate helicopters. And I've snorkeled and I've scuba dived, but I've never been in a submarine. You know, how cool would this be? After a long absence from going to Hawaii, hadn't been to Hawaii in many years. Back in 2014, if you remember, it was Valentine's Day, 2014. We went to Hawaii, there was a couple feet of snow here, and bam, we're in Hawaii, and it was great. Talk about culture shock, right? You know, from 2 feet of snow to, it's beautiful. And at that time, I'd been really thinking, man, it's about time I took that submarine tour. If you remember, we were staying in Tapa Tower in Hilton Hawaiian Village. We had an ocean view suite, but the location of Tapa Tower is you get to look across the resort, and then out to the ocean. I actually really like that. Rainbow Tower is good because you get the ocean, but Tapa Tower, as long as you're high enough, you get a really amazing view of the resort and then the ocean. So looking out in that ocean, there I see one of those Atlantis submarines, and it's being towed by a boat. It's being towed by a tug, and I'm thinking, wait, what the heck? Have I been lied to all these years? Is this not a real submarine? It's just like a glass-bottom boat that looks like a submarine? I was very disappointed. Because all the pictures I'd seen, I hadn't really looked at any videos at that point. All the pictures I'd seen, I mean, it looked like a real submarine. Well, so I didn't do the submarine tour. And I didn't do the submarine tour then in February of 2014, and then I didn't do it again in June of 2014, and then I didn't do it again in December of 2014. And as you guessed it, I didn't do it in March of 2015, or December of 2015, or March of 2016, or what was it, September or August of 2016? But somewhere between the fall of 2016 and then when we went again in March of 2017, I watched a couple of YouTube videos of the Atlantis Submarine ride. And what I saw was amazing. It was everything I thought it would be. I don't know. Well, you know, like I said, it wasn't my fault. I saw a boat towing a submarine, and so that kind of sucks. So anyways, after watching that YouTube video, a video right here on YouTube that somebody made, when they took an Atlantis submarine tour, I got online right then and there, and I reserved my Atlantis submarine tour. So I went to the Atlantis website, and they have a submarine tour, and they have a premium tour. I said, well, you know, I'm premium quality. I'm going to take the premium tour, and good thing I did. I didn't learn this till afterwards, but I guess right there out of Waikiki, there on Oahu, Atlantis has two kinds of submarines. They have the 64-passenger submarine, the big one, and then they have maybe one or two of the 48-passenger smaller submarines. I've never seen the smaller submarines, unless that's what I saw from my hotel window, hotel balcony that one time. I couldn't tell how long it was or how many people were on it. So I gathered this information from the website after I'd already taken the tour, but it's kind of interesting. The newer, bigger 64-passenger submarine with the premium tour is more modern and a lot more comfortable than the older 48-passenger submarines. Now, those are pretty good, too. And if I'm wrong, somebody who's been on the other submarines can correct me. But the smaller submarines has bench seats, whereas this premium submarine, the bigger submarine, it has real contoured seats. It also has bigger portholes, bigger windows to look out of. So, I just got lucky by picking the right submarine because, I am premium quality. Well, you guys already knew that, right? Another thing I did not know, at least not initially, I learned it after a couple of years, is that the Atlantis boat, the Discovery, which docks there at Hilton Hawaiian Village at that Port Hilton there, is the boat that takes you out to meet the submarine, and then you meet the submarine, and the people on the submarine get off the submarine and go onto that boat, and then the people on the boat go onto the submarine. And that boat, that ship, just goes back and forth from Port Hilton and then where the submarine is docked. Because Atlantis does other things. They do dinner cruises, and they have some really other fancy, really, really nice big boats or yachts or ships, whatever you call them. They have some very cool different tours you can take that isn't just submarines. And when I would see the Discovery leaving there from Port Hilton, I just thought that was another one of their tours. I didn't realize actually what it was until I saw it, really for sure, until I saw that YouTube video. I went to the Atlantis website, and then I looked for when we were going to be in Hawaii, and then I said I want to go at 2 o'clock, and then I reserved it, and oh look, there was a discount for pre-ordering it, because you could always walk up to the kiosk and then buy a ticket then, and there may or may not be room on the sub, and we're not really there for a lot of days. When I'm going filming in Hawaii, I have to do this, and this. I don't have time. There's some things I play by ear, but I really don't have time. If it's something I want to do, I cannot take the risk of missing it, so I had to, reserve it. And also, I find it really helps to prepay for these things, so when I'm in Hawaii, which I never have enough money, at least, okay, this is paid for, this is paid for, this is paid for. There's a lot to be said for that method, or that madness to my method. With that online pre-ordering discount, it brought the price down to, I think, $247 for 2 people, which is actually really good if you think about it. That's only 120 something per person. That includes the tax and all the other fees that are, bam, put onto something, because there is tax there in Hawaii. But that's not the end of the story of the bargains and discounts I got when I took the submarine tour. It's kind of it's kind of a weird story. Apparently, now this is just me guessing, apparently when I purchased this on the website, it wasn't one of those automatic things that when you enter your data, it automatically goes to your credit card company. And correct me if I'm wrong if you actually work for Atlantis, but what appears to have happened is this is the kind of setup where you enter your data and then somebody in an office actually reviews it and then runs your credit card information. Because what happened was it was denied after 10 minutes. So I got onto my credit card thing really quick. And I saw that instead of $247.74, whatever it was keyed in for $2,470, it's wow. And then instantly, really less than a minute later, that transaction was canceled, and then the correct one was put in for the $247, and it locked up my credit card. Oh. So I got on the phone with and I told them what happened, and they looked at it, and they, okay, no problem. They unlocked my card, and then I had to get on the phone with Atlantis and say, look, this is what happened. I want to still take this tour, but I was denied. And then talking to them on the phone, they weren't able to use my previous confirmation number, but they were able to do it there on the telephone. And then they knocked another discount off, so they gave it to me for $202. So instead of that full price for two people being $274 and then discounted $247, they gave it to me for two people for $202. I didn't have to ask for a discount, or they were apologetic, and this is what they did. Bam, that's great customer service. Something goes wrong, here, let me help you out. Let me give you a discount. Let me give you something. I was more than happy. I would have preferred to just pay the $247 and not have to call my credit card company, actually call them in Hawaii. But yeah, no, it worked out great, that extra discount. I got double discounted, double disc. It was great.
Somewhere down the road, you're snorkeling and you put your hand into an urchin. So now you've got 1 million needles in your hand. Don't dig them out with a pin. You soak the area in vinegar all day. So we're just about ready to make our ascent. From here, 50 feet to the surface, guys, maybe 15 seconds. It's not the hunt for Red October. We're not going to do that. We did, you always do that. We don't like that. Nothing that exciting. Let's listen in to Captain Eric talk to
this is a very cool thing to do here in Hawaii. The sub is air conditioned. It's as air conditioned as the boat. I mean, it was great. I was kind of afraid that it wouldn't be air conditioned in the sub. It'd be hot, it'd be stuffy, and it was none of those things. The AC worked great. Another fear I had is maybe I won't get any good view out of the portholes, the windows there. I cannot speak to the smaller 48 passenger sub, but the premium sub tour with the newer sub and the bigger portholes, no problem seeing out the windows. Though you can see off and on throughout the video is that sometimes the camera wanted to focus on the porthole on the window itself rather than out at the beautiful underwater paradise that we were sailing through, driving through, submarining through, that we were submarining through. And you guys know that I've spent a lot of time, I spent time at the sea. Spent a lot of time snorkeling and scuba diving for years. I used to live in Okinawa, Japan, did a lot of diving there. And even with my vast experience with the ocean, I learned quite a bit. Well, one thing I definitely knew is if you're not around a reef, the seabed is a barren, lonely place like the moon. I already knew that. Which is why they sink ships and put other underwater structures, not just for this submarine ride, but in general. They'll make reefs, they'll go and sink ships to give fish places to live, coral places to grow, and things like that. But one of the big things I did learn is that the sea urchins here in Hawaii were, I believe they said, too acidic to be worth capturing, collecting, fishing for. When I was in Japan, one of the things we would do was go out and collect sea urchins. And yes, I have eaten sea urchins before, but we used to do it when we were diving. Then you'd bring them to the surface and you'd bust them open, you'd eat them right there, you wash them off in the ocean, and everything really just tasted like salt water, just tasted really salty.
Atlantis 14, we have your location cleared to surface at 14 after.
I understand 14 after, switch and I say to come back.
Okay, guys, guys, here we go. As we're going up, keep your eye out on that depth gauge. Watch our numbers push it down.
So we'd eat one or two that way, and then we'd collect a whole bag of them, and then we'd bring them back to friends, or we'd give them to somebody if they were going to have a party and if they needed some for sushi or something. So I've eaten sea urchins right out of the ocean, but I have never had it at a sushi bar, or restaurant, or anywhere else. And if you don't know what you're eating when you eat a sea urchin, look it up. Because, you know, you may not want to eat it after you find out what it is.
How about a big round of applause for Super Captain Eric up here? You did a great job. All right, now both myself and Jeremy in the back will open up these hatch covers. Got those macros scanned again. If you're at the very front or the very back, be careful. Sometimes you get about a gallon.
Here's the boat right there.
So guys, a big aloha. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad we got to see a turtle. It doesn't always work out that way. They're on a different kind of schedule, I think. And the whale that I missed. Yeah, only he saw it, so he owes you dinner. Everybody. Okay, so again, you guys on the right side will come out to me, left side in the back. Just a quick
Cannot say enough good things about this submarine tour. When we got off the boat, the first thing we said was, wow, that was great. I would do that again. All right, so let's bottom line this. Amazing tour. If you haven't done it, you need to take this tour. The boat ride out to meet the submarine took about 10 to 15 minutes. So you got that really cool boat tour, 10 or 15 minutes. And you had to sit out there for a little bit when people got off the submarine and, you know, you get on the submarine. That was very cool. The submarine goes approximately 100 feet down. There's little depth things in here, as you saw from the video, so you can see what depth you're at. There are various artificial reef structures underwater there. There's the ships, there's the boat, there's those algae wrecks, there's the old airplanes, and then you have all the in-between. So you'll see the barren seabed with some sea urchins and maybe a fish here or there, and bam, you will see life everywhere. It is really very amazing. If given the choice, you need to take the premium submarine tour in the larger, more modern Atlantis sub. Remember, better seats, larger viewports, more room. And they claim that it's the world's largest high-tech passenger sub. I don't know, but I think it cost them $8 million, so it better be. When they say the world's largest, well, it's a passenger sub and it's high-tech, so it's not like a North Korean diesel little mini sub, and it's not a nuclear submarine for the military, and it's not one of those private subs that the drug cartels use to smuggle cocaine into the U.S. So it's a very cool high-tech passenger sub. They made sure to say it was a passenger sub, not a cocaine runner, right? But if you were in a cartel and you had a sub like this, you could really make a couple bucks. $8 million for a sub like this would be nothing. You probably have to pull the seats out. But I guess that's a topic for another video, right? And yes, we got discounted, double discounted to take this sub tour, but really, I would do it again for full price. It is that cool. And I have to admit that I have been wrong. Number one, it isn't what I thought it was just a tug towing the sub out. Every morning, the tug will tow the submarine out to where it's going to be diving and working, and then every evening, a tug will tow it back. That's what I saw. I misunderstood what I saw, but yeah, so that's where I got that wrong impression. I guess I should have just looked into it, right? Currently, Atlantis has these submarine tours on 3 different islands, but I spend my time on Oahu because it has the best of all the islands combined. And lastly, I kick myself for not have taken this submarine tour earlier because it is that cool. Now I want to thank all of you who made it this long in the video. It's a very long video, but hey, it's a very cool submarine ride. And some of you may never get to Hawaii, so now you have a chance to see what you're missing. So we saw a lot of really cool creatures, sea turtle, we saw the sharks, saw a lot of really cool fish, and it was amazing. Now, answer me some questions. Riddle me this. Have you ever taken the submarine tour before? Have you ever thought about it and you weren't sure? And did I change your mind, or did you say, hey, I want to do it, but I watched your video and your video sucks, so I'm not taking it? Let's hope that didn't happen, right? So leave your comments in the comment section. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. And this was a great tour, well worth doing. It's worth the money. Oh, it's hot again. See, we got to actually see the bottom of the boat we toured on. You know, normally you don't see the bottom of the boat. Right. You get to see that. Thirsty. Maybe I have rabies.
Oh, good.
What? Yeah, I haven't had no coffee at all today. I have to look at my thing and see if I have money.
Well, I saw money.
What? I know you have some money. I wanted to see what I have still.
Meister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.